Hey YouTube, this is Morgan with RC4U, and I'm back with a little upgrade for the 24th scale Axial Deadbolt. This little rig, it's went some miles. I've put it through the test. It is an awesome little rig. I love this little Axial Deadbolt. And one of my good friends 3D resin printed me some blue rims. Man, I'm liking that color. That is pretty awesome. You can't see any layer lines at all. The resin 3D printer is a pretty awesome 3D printer. It looks like this may have came out of a mold or something, besides there's no mold lines. It's pretty awesome. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can get these tires off these rims. I'm gonna boil them, use some gloves, see if I can't peel these tires off these rims. And then as I'm doing that, once I have these tires off, I'm gonna take, you can see in the middle of this tread is very intricate. And the side tread is really intricate too. It actually splits, and just that one tread is two different pieces, but the middle is pretty intricate. So I'm going to take and I'm going to cut apart, or I'm going to sand down with my Dremel tool every square that's on the middle tread. And it should open up the middle of this tread quite a bit, so I can get a little bit more bite on the rock. So there's kind of like a rectangular triangle tread, and then every square I'm going to cut. So the squares are right next to each other, so that should really help me dig and bite into the rock a little bit better. And then I'm going to take, and I'm somehow going to fit these wheel weights on. It looks like I'm probably going to have to trim the side of the wheel weight off to be able to get it to fit in there on the rim properly. And we're going to overweight these rims pretty big time. And then we'll see how this rig handles. We'll see if it actually does worse on the vertical climb or better. So I'll be back after I've boiled these rims some, and we'll see if we can get them off. There we go. I think I may have boiled these tires for like up to maybe half an hour to get them to pop off like this. And they seem to be popping off pretty well. I'm just working them slowly, because I don't want to stretch the rubber too much, and it'll make it difficult to glue them back onto these rims. So I'm just slowly working the rubber, and they'll slowly pop off. You see I got it broke free there in one spot. There we go. If they don't all want to come off the first time after boiling them for half an hour, maybe just let them boil a little bit longer. But yeah, at first I boiled them for about 5 minutes, and I tried it. They didn't seem to want to come off very easy. And then I just pulled one out, and it kind of popped off in one spot. But you can see some spots are probably just glued a little bit better than others, you know. So that one, it's probably about maybe close to halfway off. I'll get the water out of this. maybe close to halfway off on both sides of the rim. This one seems to be glued on exceptionally well. Well, I'll be back when I get these popped off a little bit more. Okay, about 3 hours later, I finally got these tires off these rims. I even tried some acetone to get them off. I ended up melting this rim. So don't use any acetone. I didn't really want to garbage a rim out. I always like having spare parts for whatever reason. I already added some weights to this rim, but I'll go ahead and add weights to another rim on camera just to show you what I'm doing. And while I was taking these apart, I ripped one. You can see it looks a little bit shiny in there. And I ripped it from the seam here all the way to the outside. I did the same from about here to the outside on here. And what I notice is super glue works extremely well on ripped tires. So that's what I did. And I did go along with my Dremel and I cut every little square in the middle of the tire out for the most part. And I noticed that it really gave the tire some good traction. So I kind of just went along the whole edge of the tire with my Dremel and I kind of roughed everything up some. I'm not sure if that's going to give me better traction or not, but I'm definitely willing to try it. Okay, what I'm doing with my weights here is I'm trying to cut them about directly in half. So you end up with two weights that are about the same size. It's really tough to get them like perfectly in half. So maybe I'll end up having to toss some of them. So they'll just be thinner and thicker, whatnot. Okay, so I'm just going ahead and line the inside of this rim with them. And I think when I get done sticking these to the inside of the outside of the rim, I will go ahead and take a strip of duct tape and go all the way around the outside edge of the sticky weights just to make sure that they hold in place where I want them to be. So my rims and tires, before I had these brass rings on the insides of my rims, I'm not going to use those anymore because I have more than enough weight on these weights that I got sticking on here. I weighed this setup that I already did. Before I had 15 grams. Now I have 40 grams between this and the tire. So I'm going to be adding 80 grams to the front end of this and 80 grams to the rear end of this. So that's, you know, that's a lot of extra weight to this rig. It may just be too much weight, but we'll see. Gotta go around the outside of my wheel weights here. I just want to rip a strip of my duct tape off. And that should be more than sufficient. I don't think they're going to unglue from the rim. I just want to add a little bit of extra insurance to make sure I don't end up with a wheel weight flopping around inside my rim, making my tire all wonky. Okay, let's see if we can stretch this tire over this wheel weight. It's quite a bit bigger than the rim originally was. It's a stretch. Okay. Oh, that's looking pretty good. And it even has some room for the tire to flex still. That's awesome. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Well, I'm going to weight the rest of these. I'm going to glue them up, get them on the truck, and I'll be back with a vertical test for you guys to see if this improved the vertical climb on this axial deadbolt or not. Okay, YouTube, here we are. Got the weighted tires on, and we're ready for the degrees test. If I remember right, I was able to pull 53 degrees with the other weighted tires. So I got it right at about 54, I believe. It's hard to get a perfect reading. Boy, it's all over the place. Okay, 54. Well, there's 54 degrees, guys. Yeah. 54 degrees for one of these tiny little 24 scale rigs is pretty good in my book. Well, I'm gonna say 54 degrees. I can try 55 degrees, but I don't think it's gonna make it. I think 1 degree from 53 to 54 is probably good enough progress for me. Let's see if I can set it at 55 here. That's right, about 55 in there. There we go, 55. Oh wow, it's actually attempting to go up the 55-degree angle. Wow, guys, that's just amazing. Most stock 10th scale rock crawlers only do like 55 degrees. Wow. Well, I'm pretty impressed with what 40 grams on each tire is done with this rig and my little bit of tire trimming modification. I think I'm pretty close to 55 degrees with this 24 scale rock crawler, and that's really amazing. So if you want to see more, subscribe, hit that bell button, throw me a like, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about what I've done to this rig by severely overweighting the rims and tires. And thank you very much. Have a good one.